Good morning. I call this March meeting of the Board of Trustees to order. Welcome to the University of Southern Mississippi Gulf Park campus. We thank Dr. Paul for hosting our meeting and also providing such a superb dinner last night. Several of our trustees will be joining us virtually. I think at this point, Dr. Martin is on line. Morgan and Dr. Rader should be joining us. So please speak into the microphone, talking. You push the button to activate it. Trustee Duff, provide information.
Good morning. May we pray. Our Father, which art in heaven, as we come before Thee this beautiful spring day, we offer our thanks for the blessings of being here and the opportunity of service unto Thee. We're grateful to be a member of this great state and of this great country for the blessings that we enjoy of freedom and liberties and having the opportunity to be able to become who Thou hast sent us to be. We are grateful for this institutions of higher learning, for the trustees that serve so faithfully and honorably, for the IEOs, for the faculty and the staff that remember their important reason for being here, for serving the students that seek to learn and be able to come more like Thee. We are grateful for. We ask Thee to be with and bless the proceedings of this meeting, that they may be in accordance with Thy will. Help us to be able to have the maturity, the judgment, to be able to understand the decisions that come before us and to make decisions that Thou would have us to be. We ask Thee, to Heavenly Father, at this time to be with and bless the trustees that are not able to be here. We also at this time ask Thee to be with and bless the people of Rolling Fork. For a year ago they had their terrible tragedy and tornado, and to be with and bless that recovery. In the name of our Savior, Jesus Christ, amen.
Thank you, Trustee Duff. We have several feedback. Several USM Student Government Association officers with us today. Will you please, and we welcome you, will you please come to the mic wall there and tell us your position, office.
Do we have to turn it on? Oh, it's on. All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Jonathan Jenkins, and I currently serve as a student government president at Southern Miss. This might be one of my last meetings, and so I have two other student leaders that would like to introduce themselves today.
Hi, everyone. My name is Braxton Ruddick. I'm the incoming Student Government Association president for the Hattiesburg campus. Excited and honored to be in this position and to be here, getting to work with everyone. Glad to be here.
Good morning, I'm Kalon Duncanson, the outgoing SU president for the Gulf Park campus. Thank you all for the opportunity to be here. I'm excited and have a good one.
We thank all of you for joining us today. Before we move on to the regular agenda, Dr. Paul would like to have a short presentation to us. Thank you, Dr. Paul.
Well, good morning, and welcome to Southern Miss. We're honored to host you on this beautiful Gulf Coast campus. I'm pleased to have the opportunity to share some of the exciting things happening on this campus and our teaching and research sites across the three coastal counties. As South Mississippi's research university, Southern Miss is deeply committed to meeting the education and workforce needs of our Gulf Coast community. We are actively engaged in learning how we can best support local residents, businesses, and industries with programs and schedules that meet their needs today and into the future. As we work to support the creation of new jobs, we're also committed to supplying graduates to meet current workforce needs right here. Based on input from local healthcare providers, Southern Miss launched the Accelerated BSN Pathway on the Gulf Park campus in January of 2023. This distinctive accelerated pathway enables students to earn a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing so they can join the nursing workforce as soon as possible. The first cohort of students earned a 100% pass rate on the NCLEX exam. That's through a 12-month program. The second cohort will graduate in August, and we expect this program to only continue to grow. Looking to the future, we're grateful for your support for the Physician Assistant Studies program that will become a signature professional program here on the Gulf Park campus. We're progressing steadily through the accreditation milestones and are on target to enroll the first cohort of some 25 students in 2025, with expected increases in the cohort size as we move from provisional to full accreditation. Additionally, our new executive education program will be based right here at Gulf Park to support employers and employees seeking advanced skills or new skills to meet workforce needs. The dynamic content and the flexible options in our executive education program will empower leaders and organizations with knowledge, skills, and networks to drive sustainable growth throughout South Mississippi and well beyond. We have $4.8 million in state funding to adapt and add on to this facility, Hardy Hall, as it will become the home for executive education. We think it'll be quite attractive for business and industry to come and see this view and learn from us through that executive education offering. Though programming will begin very soon, the facility expansion and construction will begin in early 2025. I'm pleased to share that we have secured funding to expand the services of the Children's Center for Communication and Development and the DuBard School for Children with Language Disorders through a new state-of-the-art facility that will be right here on the Gulf Park campus. This expansion enables us to serve Mississippi Gulf Coast children and families in ways that will be life-changing for them, while also increasing the clinical experiences for our speech-language pathology and audiology students here on the Gulf Coast campus. Construction of this new facility should begin this fall. For this project, we have secured $7.9 million in congressional federal funding, an additional $500,000 from the state, and I'm happy to announce this morning that we've worked very hard to secure an additional $6 million from two private gifts, one from the Kelly Jean Cook Foundation for $1.5 million, and even more recently, a $4.5 million gift from a family that wishes to remain anonymous. That's a happy day for us. Our Gulf Blue Initiative is driving economic growth through innovation and expansion of the knowledge-based ocean economy. We are uniquely situated for this work because of our location as the research and innovation gateway to the Gulf of Mexico for blue tech companies. We continue to build the infrastructure, expertise, human capital, partnerships, and collaborations necessary to assist entrepreneurs and companies with testing products and growing their businesses on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. We recently welcomed the second cohort of global startup companies to our Gulf Blue Navigator program, where we are providing them with unique access to our state-of-the-art research facilities, wet labs, and business networks, along with year-round access to warm coastal waters. The current cohort is focused on uncrewed systems, and the companies involved are projecting to create between 350 or more new jobs within the next 3 to 5 years. And I want you to know that this is not a long play where the dividends are way down the road. The tangible results of our Gulf Blue research and innovation efforts are here right now. In this video, you will see two stunning examples of how the University of Southern Mississippi is leading the way.
So a few years ago, within NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the uncrewed operations, both marine and aircraft, were centralized into the Uncrewed Systems Operations Center. By centralizing those uncrewed operations for NOAA within the Uncrewed Systems Operations Center, it's really allowed us to efficiently partner with academia, industry, and other government organizations so that we can leverage the available technology and capabilities to serve NOAA's priorities, NOAA's requirements, which ultimately translate into products and services for the nation. So this partnership with the University of Southern Mississippi is extremely important to move NOAA's uncrewed operations systems forward and to leverage the academia, government, and industry partnerships that USM has really been the nexus, the catalyst for forming, is a really important opportunity for NOAA.
Ocean Aero moved to southern Mississippi and Gulfport 2 years ago, and we couldn't be happier with the move. We did it for several reasons. First, there's an ecosystem here on the Gulf Coast that is unparalleled to anything else we could find around the United States. I think about the ecosystem of different players like manufacturers, like primes in the contracting space for both defense and science industries. I think about academia, chiefly University of Southern Mississippi, who was extremely influential in our ability to make the move successfully from Southern California to here. USM has been a great partner on many, many levels. It sounds cliche when you say it, but it really is true when you say that USM is a wonderful convener of people. They have connected us from the very beginning to local business councils, government officials, even other universities that they have convened to create a network of personnel to help a small fledgling business like ours get its feet on the ground. Even our headquarters wouldn't be possible without USM's championship to be on the port of Gulfport with the allowance of the MDA up in Jackson. Without them helping us and coaching us every step of the way, we literally wouldn't be sitting in the building that I'm in today.
As you can see, this is here and this is now. And I've got to take up one point of personal privilege. Many hands have built this ecosystem that is driving what you're seeing the results of here. But I've got to give a special nod to Dr. Kelly Lucas, our Vice President for Research. Kelly, stand up for her leadership in all of these efforts. It's fantastic work. Now I'd like to introduce you to two outstanding faculty members on the coast who will share a bit more about research and academic programs here on the Gulf Coast that are preparing Southern Miss graduates to truly be ready for life. First, you will hear from Dr. Layla Hamdan, our Associate Vice President for Research for Coastal Operations, a professor and molecular microbial ecologist with a focus on geomicrobiology and the impact of changing environments on the structure and function of marine communities. Dr. Hamdan was recently appointed to the National Academy's prestigious 2025 to 2035 Decadal Survey of Ocean Sciences Group. This small group will advise the National Science Foundation's Division of Ocean Sciences strategy toward investments in research, oceanographic infrastructure, and development of the future ocean science workforce. Dr. Hamdan will share more about Southern Miss research. Following Dr. Hamdan's remarks, you will hear from Dr. Robert Leaf about academic programs offered at the undergraduate and graduate levels right here on the Gulf Coast that exemplify our emphasis on coastal academic programs for coastal people for coastal jobs. Dr. Leaf is an associate professor and a noted scholar in fisheries who currently serves as the interim director of the School of Ocean Science and Engineering. Dr. Leaf will share how our successful Gulf Coast academic programs are engaging students and will drive future enrollment growth.
Thank you, President Paul. I'm truly humbled by that introduction, as well as the opportunity to speak with this group about our marine and coastal research portfolio, but also to share with you all our regional and national vision for leadership in marine and coastal research and the different ways that we are supporting and growing Mississippi's new blue economy. So to orient you a little bit to the region that we're working in, and that's the way I'm going to divide this out, regional and national, I want to share with you where our research vision is occurring. Regionally, we have our research operations spread out along the entire Mississippi Gulf Coast. We have locations in all three of the coastal counties, as you can see on this map here. And the work that we do occurs across a number of different nodes, starting from west to east, We have science happening at Stennis Space Center, work happening here at our beautiful Gulf Park campus that I'm so happy you all were able to visit. Moving further to the east, our Gulfport Blue Economy Innovation District, which you've already heard a little bit about, and then our Gulf Coast Research Laboratory in Ocean Springs, the home of the State Marine Laboratory, which celebrated 75 years just last year. And in these locations, we also have 7 research centers. I won't read them all to you, they're on the screen. But what I want to share is that this dispersed model of our locations provides us advantages. A key advantage is it places people and resources where our research needs occur. But it also creates opportunities for an intensive and immersive experience for all of our students who are working with national and in a lot of cases international experts in degree granting programs that my colleague Dr. Leaf is going to share some information about. The work that we do occurs across 7 broad themes. We're studying the basic mechanics of the ocean. Deep sea exploration is an area of expertise. Fisheries, hydrography, marine aquaculture, the science of marine education, and geospatial sciences are areas where we excel. And staying in this regional space, I want to share a little bit more about this new blue economy. And President Paul shared some information already about Gulf Blue and our regional ecosystem. And what the term blue economy means, I always think it's good to ground in definitions. These are economic opportunities that are derived from the ocean. And this term new that we've injected into this definition are resilient, sustainable, as well as technology forward research applications in blue economic development. And our location here on the Gulf Coast allows us to capitalize on our geography and our resources so that we can position Mississippi's Gulf Coast to lead the way in this blue economic development and research. But it also allows us to unlock talent and our resources so that we can promote entrepreneurship right here in Mississippi. And that moves us into our vision for national leadership. And one of the sources for national leadership that we have are our brand new Roger F. Wicker Center for Ocean Enterprise that many of you were able to visit with us just yesterday. And this Center for Ocean Enterprise is a national hub for uncrewed maritime systems, ocean data research, maritime cyber research, as well as where we are training Mississippi's new blue tech workforce. It is also a catalyst for public-private partnerships that are occurring between federal agencies, industry, as well as academic partners. And in these spaces of the Roger F. Wicker Center for Ocean Enterprise, we're testing, we're developing, and we are launching new technologies. We provide access, something that is so fundamental to the work that we do in research, to labs, offices, facilities, ships, and the Gulf of Mexico, which is right out of our door here. And this center has a lot of moving parts to it, but it is composed of the building that bears Senator Wicker's name, which is inside of the security of the Port of Gulfport, our public-facing Marine Research Center, where some of you had meetings yesterday, a prototyping and fabrication lab that is quite frankly the envy of a lot of our colleagues in the ocean science space, and access to deep and shallow water. Another example of our national leadership is our participation in NOAA's cooperative institutes. NOAA has stood up 20 cooperative institutes in this nation, and USM is a participant in 2 of them. One of them that's not on the screen here is the Northern Gulf Institute, which we are members of with our colleagues from Mississippi State University, which is very much regionally focused on the ecosystems of the Gulf of Mexico. The one that you see here, the Ocean Exploration Cooperative Institute, is NOAA's newest cooperative institute. And this 10-year cooperative institute is focused on accelerating the pace of exploration in the world's ocean by developing new technologies and concepts. We are working to collect data on the vastly underexplored ocean. And some of the most important work that we do with this institute is training and inspiring the next generation of ocean explorers. And we are joined in this cooperative institute with our other colleagues and leaders in the ocean science space throughout the nation. And the last thing to say on national leadership is our involvement in the UNOLS, or the University National Oceanographic Lab System. The UNOLS is an arm of the National Science Foundation, which supports the entire research fleet for the United States. USM has been a member of UNOLS since 1982. And in about a year's time, we are going to be operating the newest ship in the fleet of UNOLS, the research vessel Gilbert R. Mason. This is an artistic rendering of the ship right now. This is one of 3 brand new ships that are being built by the National Science Foundation to the tune of $130 million apiece. And once this ship is finished and is sitting out in the port of Gulfport here, it will represent a 200-foot long vessel that is purpose-built for the science of the Gulf, the Caribbean, and the Atlantic Ocean for the next 40 years. So this is a big role that USM plays in the ocean science leadership space. And I want to leave you with one note before I turn things over to Dr. Leaf, is that I've spent a lot of time talking about buildings and spaces, and these are more than just things. We view these as access points for the careers for all of our students. They also represent a wonderful canvas so that our faculty, our staff, and our innovators throughout the state can paint their science on. And for the perspective of ships, because I've seen this, these also represent inflection points in the lives of our careers, those lives and their careers that are being shaped by the academic programs that Dr. Leaf is now going to share with you.
Well, thank you very much. I'm so pleased to be able to talk to you about our research-intensive academic offerings at the School of Ocean Science and Engineering here at USM. Our mission is very much concerned with servicing the students of Mississippi to be able to thrive in the blue economy moving forward. The School of Ocean Science and Engineering is composed of 2 academic divisions, the Division of Marine Science and the Division of Coastal Science. The Division of Marine Science is primarily concerned with geological, biological, physical, and chemical oceanography, as well as our hydrographic science and ocean engineering program. The Division of Coastal Science has really 4 primary foci: aquaculture, fishery science, coastal ecology, and habitat and the coastal habitats. We are housed in 3 locations across the Gulf Coast. Our group at Stennis Space Center has the largest concentration of oceanographers in the world, and that provides a huge opportunity for our students to have collaborative research with the Naval Oceanographic Group as well as NASA personnel. Our facility here at Gulf Park is well situated for our hydrographic science, our ocean engineering, and our undergraduate programs. We're in close proximity to the Port of Gulfport and the research vessels that Dr. Hamden described, as well as the Roger Wicker Center and the MRC. Finally, over at the Gulf Coast Research Lab, which Dr. Hamden mentioned just celebrated its 75th year, that's the state of Mississippi's Marine Lab, which has had historically as its mission to improve the lives and livelihoods of stakeholders in Mississippi. They were concerned with the blue economy before the blue economy was a term of art. So we have a diversity of offerings. So we have 4 undergraduate degree programs and a graduate program as well. We're excited about all of them. We think that there is exceptional room and opportunity for growth. It's really these research participant-centered degree programs we think are going to provide students with a way to very much engage with the blue economy. One of the things I will touch on is our our certification program in uncrewed maritime systems. These are autonomous surface vehicles and autonomous underwater vehicles, and this is a sort of a continuing education for practitioners that are working and looking to re-up their skills. 1 of the things I will touch on is our undergraduate certification program in uncrewed maritime systems. These are autonomous surface vehicles and autonomous underwater vehicles, and this is a sort of a continuing education for practitioners that are working and looking to re-up their skills. 1 of the things I will touch on is our undergraduate certification program in uncrewed maritime systems. These are autonomous surface vehicles and autonomous underwater vehicles, and this is a sort of a continuing education for practitioners that are working and looking to re-up their skills. So our ocean engineering program combines aspects of civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and electrical engineering, as well as naval architecture and applied oceanography. This is a very unique program with excellent outcomes for our students. It's a ABET accredited program. This is a national accreditation for engineering programs. Our students work in close collaboration and in internship opportunities with much of the shipbuilding and that's occurring down here, as well as some of the scientific industry. You saw some of that in the video. This program is growing very well, and I think the connections that we've made within the university to our computer science and engineering and outside to our external partners is going to enhance its growth in the future. Hydrographic science or hydrography is another area degree program that we're very excited about. It's a unique program, just like ocean engineering. It has great return on investments for the students. Students in this program are engaging with military, they're engaging with oil and gas exploration and transportation to perform ocean mapping, seafloor bathymetry, management and analysis of large marine data sets through AI and machine learning approaches, as well as mineral exploration. This is another one of our degree programs where the students are very actively engaged in ongoing research, and the proximity very much matters because much of the commerce in the blue economy is happening on the coast. Marine biology is a program that is growing very strongly for the School of Ocean Science and Engineering. The exposure that the students have when they come down and study at the Gulf Park campus to our coastal environments, the access to the Port of Gulfport, the access to the Marine Research Center and the Roger F. Wicker Center, and all of the science that's happening down here on the coast has provided a lot of opportunities for them. The research outcomes are exceptionally strong, where students in our undergraduate program are participating at the local, regional, and national meetings presenting their science. And finally, I'd like to talk about our marine science program. Again, this is really focusing on the 4 oceanographies. In our backyard, we have access to these nearshore systems that are of great interest to U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, stakeholders. So we have a lot of challenges and opportunities for study in marine science at coastal and into the blue water, and we have the capacity to explore those with the vessels that we have at hand just down the road. So we're seeing, again, great engagement from our undergraduate students. Their parents are excited when they come to visit about the opportunities for those students in a very early career to be engaged with research. And so finally, I think SOSE, we're really trying to live and deliver on the mission to educate our students to be able to thrive in our blue economy. Thank you very much.
He gets that applause every time he gives a lecture to his students. Great teacher. Thank you, Dr. Hamden and Dr. Leaf. As you all can see, the Southern Miss culture is marked by pursuing audacious goals with an uncommon passion and a relentless persistence. Audacious goals such as enticing Ocean Arrow to move from San Diego to Gulfport and facilitating the location of NOAA's global research efforts in uncrewed vessels right here at our Roger F. Wicker Center. We are delivering graduates in ocean sciences, healthcare, business, and education who are prepared to have a game-changing impact right here on our Mississippi Gulf Coast. Our graduates are ready for leadership roles. They're ready to innovate and solve problems and ready to take on challenges. Southern Miss graduates are ready for life. In closing, I want to thank you again, trustees, for your visit to Southern Miss. We are grateful for your support and tireless work to advance higher education throughout Mississippi. The Gulf Park campus and our teaching and research sites across the Gulf Coast are a vital part of this university, and I'm deeply committed to growing them. Together, we are creating something very distinctive at this beautiful place. We have several locations, but we're one Southern Miss, always soaring to the top. At your places, you have a writing pen crafted with wood from our friendship oak, which is just over there, a significant landmark here at Gulf Park. And in fact, you have the last 13 friendship oak pens that exist, and until there's another hurricane or lightning, we lose another limb, those will become quite unique. The legend of the friendship oak is that those who enter its shadow will remain friends throughout all their lifetime. So we thank you, trustees, for being friends of Southern Miss. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Hall. Commissioner wants to make a statement.
President Paul, I can't go without saying to have a new nursing program, particularly an accelerated nursing program, to achieve 100% NCLEX pass rate with this first cohort, that is outstanding. Your nursing faculty and your students should be commended because that is absolutely great. And I couldn't sit here without making a statement about that.
Again, thank you, Dr. Paul and staff. Excellent presentation. Has everyone reviewed the minutes? Is there a motion for approval of minutes? Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Dr. Morton? Trustee Morton? Trustee Morgan? Trustee Rader?
Can you hear me? Aye.
Okay, thank you. And motion carries. Next is the consent agenda. Are there any items that need to be moved to the regular agenda? Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Second? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Right, motion. Trustee Morton?
Aye.
Trustee Morgan?
Aye.
Trustee Rader? Motion carries. We next move to our academic agenda. Trustee Parker?
Academic Affairs has 2 items on the regular agenda. Dr. Presswood will present the recommendation.
Thank you, Trustee Parker. First on the agenda is a request to add a new academic degree program. The University of Mississippi has a request to add a new Bachelor of Science in Data Science. This program will be housed in the School of Engineering and will be an interdisciplinary program with computer science, mathematics, and statistics at its core. Students will become proficient in data science-related computing and mathematical concepts to explore data and extract knowledge from data. Students will be required to declare a minor in an application area. The university will seek accreditation with ABET, the Accreditation Board for Engineering and Technology, and the university is requesting an exception to IHL Policy 511, which limits undergraduate degree programs to a maximum of 124 hours. This program will require 126 hours for accreditation purposes. I've provided you with a handout on this topic. The first page is the memo from the University of Mississippi requesting the exception to IHL Policy 511. The second page of your handout is a copy of Policy 511 from 2004 when the board amended the policy to to state the 2 reasons that are acceptable to allow a degree program to require in excess of 124 hours. Those 2 reasons are accreditation standards of the appropriate specialized accrediting agencies which mandate a baccalaureate program of over 124 credit hours, and licensing standards of the professions involved which require a baccalaureate program of over 124 credit hours. On pages 3 and 4 of your handout, I've provided a complete list of the degree programs that have been granted exceptions from 2005 to present. The 3rd column shows how many hours the programs were approved by the board to require in excess of 124 hours. The 4th column shows how many hours each of the programs currently requires. Since the policy was implemented in 2005, engineering and computer science programs have been granted an exception to require between 126 and 131 hours to meet ABET accreditation standards. You will see that reflected in both columns 3 and 4. Mississippi State University offers a Bachelor of Science in Data Science as well. The Bureau of Labor Statistics indicates that jobs related to data science will have a 36% growth, which equates to approximately 40,500 jobs from 2021 to 2031. Data science-related positions are some of the top wanted positions in the state, region, and nation. In 2021, the median pay for data scientists in Mississippi was $100,000. According to ZipRecruiter, the average annual pay in Mississippi in 2023, it was $109,000. Board staff recommends approval of the new academic degree program and exception to number of hours required for the degree program, pending proper notification and any required approval from USDOE and SAC COC.
Further recommendations, I make a motion to approve this item.
Is there a second?
I second it.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Trustee Morton?
Aye.
Trustee Morgan?
Aye.
Trustee Rader?
Aye.
Motion carries. Second item. Move.
Item 2 contains requests to add new centers at Jackson State University and the University of Mississippi. Jackson State University requests the creation of the Center for Supply Chain Management to be housed in the College of Business. This limited scope and outreach center will support student engagement, research, and strategic corporate engagement surrounding issues related to global supply chain and international trade relations. The center will provide short and long-term training to students and interested business constituents to improve the supply chain infrastructure and promote logistics sustainability. The anticipated annual cost is $1 million, and funding will be provided by the U.S. Small Business Administration. The University of Mississippi requests the creation of the Center for Journalism Advocacy and Innovation to be housed in the School of Journalism and New Media. Journalism is central to a functional democracy, but it is increasingly malaligned with negatively stereotyped. Nationally, some journalism schools have centers to promote specific types of journalism, such as investigative journalism, global journalism, and documentary journalism. This limited scope and outreach center will focus on promoting the intensely practical value of journalism in general. This one-of-a-kind center will seek to strengthen and promote the institution and practice of journalism in the state and nationally through innovative programming and research focused on advocating for journalism excellence in community life. Board staff recommends approval of these items.
You've heard the recommendation. I make a motion to approve this item.
Second. Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Trustee Morton?
Aye.
Trustee Morgan?
Aye.
Trustee Rader?
Aye.
Motion carries.
This concludes academic affairs regular agenda.
Thank you. We next move to the financial agenda, the trustee Duff. Before we move there, though, trustee Ogletree excused himself on voting on item 1 and 2, regular agenda.
Thank you, Trustee McNair. We have two items on the regular agenda for finance. They are food service agreements from the University of Mississippi. This time, I'll ask John Pierce if he would discuss the specifics.
Thank you. Item number 1 is a request from the University of Southern Mississippi to amend a food service agreement with Airmark Educational Services. Airmark operates the campus food service program. The purpose of this amendment is to extend the current agreement by 5 years, and USM estimates that the institution will receive $70 million in revenue over the term of the amended agreement, including $32 million in commissions, $7 million in capital investments, $16 million in contributions towards utilities, and $3.3 million for a maintenance and repair fund. The term of the amended agreement will extend through 2035. USM may cancel with 60 days' notice. Item number 2 is also a request from the University of Southern Mississippi to amend its athletic concessions agreement with Airmark Educational Services. Airmark provides concession, sales, and services for athletic venues. The purpose of the agreement is to extend the current agreement by 5 years. USM estimates that the institution will receive $4.5 million in revenue over the term of the amended agreement, including $3.5 million in commissions and $1 million in capital investments. The term of the amended agreement will extend through 2035, and USM may cancel with 90 days' notice. Legal staff has reviewed items number 1 and 2 for compliance with applicable law and finds them to be acceptable. Board staff recommends approval of items number 1 and 2.
Thank you, John. You've heard the recommendation from the board staff. At this time, I would like to make a motion to approve items number 1, item number 2.
Second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Trustee Martin?
Aye.
Trustee Morgan?
Aye.
Trustee Rader?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Trustee Duff.
Thank you. That's certainly a fine set of eyes. This concludes the finance agenda.
Okay. We next move to the real estate agenda. I don't know, Trustee Morgan, are you available?
Yes, I am, but I think Brad Rowland of our staff will make a presentation of one issue.
Okay, before that happens, Trustee Ogletree, I'm gonna have to ask you to recuse yourself. Okay. From voting on this item. The real estate agenda. Okay. Brad, you can proceed.
All right, thank you. Today, MSU has one item on the regular agenda for board approval to enter a purchase-sale agreement among MSU, the Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality, and the Mississippi Forestry Commission as buyers and Weyerhaeuser Company as seller, through which MSU will acquire ownership of approximately 14,000 acres of land along the Wolf River in Hancock and Harrison County. The purchase price has not yet been determined by the parties. The purchases will be paid for with funds provided from the National Fish Wildlife Foundation, often referred to as NFWIF, administered through the Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality, and the Forestry Legacy Program administered by the U.S. Department of Agriculture and Forest Services. No MSU funds will be used to pay for this purchase. At the conclusion of the transaction, MSU will hold fee title to the property and be required to manage the property in perpetuity according to the conservation plan reviewed and approved by the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation and the state forester. To secure board approval, MSU is requesting to waive board policies 905A and 905B, which require 2 appraisals and an environmental phase 1 report before entering a purchase sale agreement. In order to mitigate this risk associated with the board approval of the purchase sale agreement prior to completing due diligence and before a purchase price is agreed to, the parties have negotiated a 2-step board approval process. Today will be phase 1 of that process. At this meeting, it's requested that MSU be authorized to enter into the purchase sale agreement, which permits the buyers until August 30th, 2024 to conduct due diligence on this. Phase 2 will be on or before August 15th, 2024. MSU will bring back the phase 1, the appraisals, and the purchase sale agreement and any amendments made in regard to the purchase price for the board to review as a full picture in August for final approval. So to recap, today we're asking for approval of the PSA with the ability to amend the PSA with a negotiated purchase price and to waive board policy 905A and B. And then in August, or before, they'll bring back the full picture with all due diligence for the board to approve a final approval before going to closing. So with that, the Attorney General's office has reviewed this and found this to be in compliance and acceptable, and board staff recommends approval of this contingent upon MSU returning for final approval from the board.
The motion for approval?
Motion.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye.
Aye.
Trustee Martin?
Aye.
Trustee Morgan?
Aye.
Trustee Rader?
Aye.
Motion is approved. Thank you, Trustee Morgan. Mr. Rowland. Please ask Mr. Ogovich to return to the meeting. He's missed half the meeting. This concludes the real estate agenda. Now the informational agenda. Commissioner.
Thank you, President McNair. Do any trustees have any questions about any items on the information agenda? Not. Thank you, President McNair.
Thank you, Commissioner Rankin. Are there any additional agenda items to be considered? If not, is there any other business need to be considered? Our next scheduled board meeting is April the 18th, 2024. No, several of us, it'll be our last meeting. We really enjoyed it. I think we'll forego the IEOs today, since it's so far from home. Thank you for coming to the coast. Forego that meeting. Is there a motion to close the meeting to determine the need for executive session? Any discussion?
Second.
All in favor, aye? Aye. Trustee Martin?
Aye.
Trustee Morgan?
Aye.
Trustee Rader?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you all very much for visiting us. Anyone not needed for executive session is free to leave the room at this time. If you're not an IHL trustee, you can wait in the waiting room. Give us a minute to make sure the proper people are connected. Thank you all very much.
Thank God.